hazard is only due to nature and has nothing to do with the people that live in the area. Usually what you mitigate is seismic risk. They all mean danger, hazard and risk in common language, but in science hazard means just a natural phenomenon that can potentially become a danger if there are people. If there are no people, you only have the hazard and nobody's in danger. However, what you can mitigate is seismic risk, which is the combination of hazard, so a natural risky phenomenon, plus people living there, infrastructure being there. And then what you actually do is to mitigate the effect that the hazard has on the infrastructure, on the human life.
Convivere con i terremoti richiede consapevolezza, conoscenza e quella che viene chiamata resilienza, cioè preparatezza a reagire all'evento naturale. Quello che noi facciamo come scienziati è valutare la pericolosità del terremoto, vale a dire quanto sarà lo scuotimento del terreno causato da un terremoto probabile, atteso in una determinata area. Sapendo quello che sarà la sollecitazione, lo scuotimento, io posso costruire gli edifici in modo da difendere.
Nobody really dies from an earthquake. People die from the aftermath of an earthquake. So what we can do as geophysicists, we can, for example, study and model the ground where houses are built. We know that being on bedrock right next to a fault is less dangerous than being further away but on a sedimentary basin. And we can study the ground acceleration to be expected in such a case, such that we can give these numbers to engineers who can then use to build better houses. And that should go in building codes, for example.
So earthquakes will occur and we won't control them. What we can control is how, the society in general and buildings in particular, respond to this. And that's something we do know how to do, and that is very important. So you can have, a very large earthquake occurring, below a city that with very high standards of building, and that will create very little damage. While, small earthquakes in a poor country will create, havoc and a lot of destruction.
For me, it's also important to realize that it's not an all or nothing. So it's not like, because there's some things we cannot do, it's a lost case. We shouldn't think like that. We should think that every building that we can build properly, every building that we can reinforce, it's something that we are reducing in terms of risk. So that's the way to think. We should do whatever is on our hands, and there's always things we will not be able to control. But whatever is in our hands, we should do it to have a more resilient society.